Cuba releases all 53 prisoners agreed as part of U.S. deal. U.S. officials say Cuba has completed the release of 53 political prisoners agreed as part of last month's historic deal between the two countries. The U.S. said it had verified the release of the 53, which it welcomed as a very positive development. However, the U.S. said the release did not resolve the larger human rights problems on the island. Last month, the two countries said they would restore diplomatic relations severed since 1961. The thaw was announced in simultaneous televised speeches by President Barack Obama and his Cuban counterpart, Raúl Castro. Raúl Castro and Barack Obama. The two presidents announced the policy shift on live television from Havana and Washington, D.C. The deal also included the release of U.S. contractor Alan Gross from a Cuban jail, and the freeing of 3 Cuban secret agents from prison in the U.S. The U.S. has not yet disclosed the identities of the 53 Cuban prisoners released over the past days. But U.S. officials told Reuters news agency the White House would provide the names of all 53 to Congress and expects lawmakers to make them public. They are believed to be activists who were detained by the Cuban authorities for promoting social and political reforms on the communist-run island. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Samantha Powers said that welcome as that step is, and heartening as it is for their families, it does not resolve the larger human rights problem on the island. Continued pressure. U.S. officials said the Obama administration would continue to seek the release of other Cuban political prisoners still in jail. This list, of 53, is not to be seen as the end of our discussion on human rights with the government of Cuba, State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki said. Berta Sola, who leads Cuban dissident group Ladies in White, asked the U.S. government to keep up the pressure on the Cuban authorities. If they are not asked for anything specific in exchange for dialogue, the government is going to keep doing whatever it pleases, she said. The topic is expected to be raised at high-level talks between the U.S. and Cuba on 21 and the 22nd of January, when U.S. Assistant Secretary of State Roberta Jacobson will lead a delegation to the Cuban capital, Havana. The leader of the Patriotic Union of Cuba dissident group, José Daniel Ferrer, said he hoped the U.S. would demand specific human rights changes